Hello, everyone, and welcome to Galaxy and Revolt, Episode 8. Galaxy and Revolt.
Episode 8.
Nailed it.
Episode 8.
We did it.
Anyway, welcome back to our Star Wars West End Games stream set at just before Episode 2, during the prelude to the fall of the Republic. Last time, we were introduced to Orlena Vu, an administrator at the Jedi Temple. Thank you very much for the sub, Jay. 26 months.
Whoa.
Combo.
Yeah. We were introduced to Orlena Vu, Mira Luca, Jedi Knight, an administrator at the temple. Fan of paperwork or data pad work, and kept informing the party of things that cause stirs in admin.
There's a lot in this party, it turns out.
She was given a task by everyone's favorite Jedi Master, Plo Koon, to help Kaya Kadath and her apprentice, Ros Lek, investigate the disappearance of the Duchess Satine from Mandalore. The crew went and met Val, our prototype vulture droid, and Vaitoth, Kaya Kadath's former Jedi apprentice. And they began to head down deep into the lower levels of Coruscant. But before we leave the upper levels, Vaitoth receives a distress call and a comm frequency, and he apologizes profusely, but he must return to...
God damn it, Eric.
Jesus. I'll get to that in a second. But Vaitoth must return to his home world of Sheely. Timothy will not be joining us for the rest of this campaign. And thank you, Darth Jiggles, for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. That's great. Thank you.
Wow.
May the force be with you.
See, this is why you need to be watching the stream. Hey, you could have just gotten a sub just now.
I mean, I can't because internet won't allow
Oh,
it.
right.
But,
Sorry.
Unless you're Liz. Don't watch the stream, please.
But it's okay, because you're on the stream, so that counts.
yeah, that counts.
It counts.
Okay. So, we are all the plan. The current motion is to be heading down into the lower levels of Coruscant, and you are. It's Val, who's a vulture droid, and a like a Lambda class shuttle, kind of with one very poor pilot. So, what is the plan, my friends?
Fly at a safe distance behind the Lambda shuttle and give piloting advice.
Perfect.
That's right.
Accept piloting advice and follow it.
Okay, now I think this thing is a pedal. I don't really know, because, like, I just am the thing, but, like, I think this one's a pedal.
Okay.
I think it's the one in the middle.
That'll make it go?
Nope.
If it makes the sound like it's about to die, you hit that one.
Are we losing altitude?
Yes.
On purpose?
No.
Oh.
Should everything be spinning, or have I lashed myself into a concussion?
Fine. Fine. Use the force to hold myself steady. Yes, I believe we were going to the hotel for which Satine and her guardsmen were last seen, and that should also bring us to the lower levels.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I without spending too much time on it, especially because my scene partner wouldn't be here, but I absolutely insist that if Vitoth needs anything, or of course they must do whatever they must do. So, but I must do this because I still work for the temple and I've been charged with this. But
Vitoth
the minute
has
I'm
the
free,
luxury to be able to leave.
So, should Vitoth need anything, he should calm me immediately. But just, to tidy that up. But then, yes, other than just meditating to stop my tremendous Lambda class shuttle sickness, I shall just await. And I genuinely will try to meditate on these events because too many things crashed into each other at once. I'm just not very good at it right now because I have half a mind that the Force is just jerking me around. But I will close my eyes and pretend to be serious.
Are you simply meditating and thinking, or are you trying to reach out with the Force?
I think I am. Because Ross sensed a darkness below the surface of Coruscant. Shortly thereafter, we were charged with going below the surface of Coruscant. And that is not... Our charge isn't to investigate this darkness. Our charge is this other thing, unrelated, with Satine, the Duchess of Satine. And again, we are taught to issue coincidence. So I am... just throw me a bone, Force. Could the invisible bug monsters that live in my blood just give me a fucking break?
Make a midichlorians check.
Excellent.
Roll for Invisibug.
Yeah. Give me a Force sense check. They're parasites, apparently. Like, I don't know what else to call them.
Look.
They're eating your blood or your Force or something.
Or I played Parasite Eve, and it does make midichlorians into parasitic psychic monsters or something. The important thing is Japan's having a normal one. Okay, so... All right, and one of these is a crisis dice, right? Which I just don't want a 1 on, or do I want a 1 or a 6 on it?
Well, you don't want a 1. A 6 is great, but anything else is just
You said I didn't want a 1.
No, it tends to be bad.
How strongly did you mean that, would you say?
Let's find out.
Yeah, with most of my heart.
Okay, well, great. I got a 13, but to that little special die I roll is a 1.
Okay.
And it wasn't great. I mean, a 13 is pretty shitty.
Pretty low for you. Okay.
Yeah, I roll 7 dice to get there, so... But this is entirely story appropriate.
Yes.
To just kick my poor Jedi Master right back in the teeth.
So, earlier today, you felt it. You felt a deeper connection to the Force than you have in a long time. And maybe you're chasing the dragon a little bit. Like, you're like, yeah, I can do it again. And you reach out, and instead, all you feel is just the darkness of the inhabitants of Coruscant. Mm-hmm. You know, every person has darkness in them, and for some reason, that's all you can sense now. You're not even... Before, when you sensed, you were sensing the light in everyone. Everyone also has light in them.
Yeah, presumably.
Yes, some people a lot less than others.
Yeah.
That Chancellor from Naboo, he's always a little hard to read. You don't know why. I'm sure there's nothing suspicious about him.
It's a very Lizzie smile. So, yeah, kind of taking that over. So it's not so much that I reached out successfully, but like all it is like the little bitter gripes of like these people complaining about this, and it's this person stealing someone's wallet and blastering an orphan girl selling matchsticks freezing in an alleyway on Christmas Eve. You know, like these.
They don't even use matchsticks in Star Wars.
Well, look.
That's what makes it more.
So yes, and it's just the low key on my nerveness.
Yes.
That actual Marty experiences in actual cities.
Yes. And then I thought you could relate.
Yeah,
and then,
for sure.
And then above that is just this cloud that you did feel earlier of just, it's like something is purposefully blocking your senses. Like they're putting a sheet over everything. Okay.
Well, I'll show that.
So you fly down one of the big access tunnels. A bunch of ships are whizzing past you. Air speeders whizzing past. And you get to the hotel, which is called, I just Google it real fast. That's not how you spell Coruscant. That's fine.
Kariskin.
Really? Okay, well, you get to the Coruscant Hotel.
Croissant Hotel.
Croissant.
Fantastic. The Coruscant Arms.
And yeah, people bustling in and out. It's a, you'd say it gives off like kind of like a fancy Hong Kong hotel vibes. Like it's got like a lot of neon around it and stuff like that, and it looks super like high end, even though it's a couple layers down. You had to fly. And yeah, so how would you like to approach this?
I know generally that going in here, all it's Jedi business isn't going to go super well, right?
It's going to get you a response.
Sure.
It is probably not going to be a favorable one.
Yes. Well, one of the purposes of creating Kaya, being able to speak Huttese and such, is that as a young bohemian, she wasn't above slumming it, so to speak. So I think I'm not going to go in there all imperious Jedi energy, at least not to start. I'll leave that to Orlena.
I was going to say, I think she's only got about one mode. She'll mean it, though.
Yeah. See, like, stow my robe in, like, I don't know, Ross's backpack or something. So I'm just in the otherwise inappropriate for lower decks, like tunic and such. But yeah, just kind of walk in and try and get the vibe, man.
Panicked. That's gonna be the vibe. Because you know
Very
who's walking in behind you.
Very shortly, yes.
Okay. Yes, you walk in. A cavalcade of different species from Star Wars. It's like any sort of cantina shot in a Star Wars. There's a wolf man, there's a devil person. They're called Devorians. The wolves are Vuluf or something dumb. A little contingent of Doros, Twi'leks, humans, a couple Godol, just everybody. And yeah, they seem to be bustling around, and three people walk in, and then the sliding door opens, kind of
Really tall door.
kind of keeps trying to close, but Val keeps hitting the sensor, triggering the sensor, and lowers herself a little bit and walks in, and you can just see someone at the counter, like, clearly reaches under it and starts hitting a button.
Val's still wearing flowers, though, right? So that makes it better, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not paid enough to deal with this.
Ross, why don't you have Val run its many senses? Try and look for signatures. I don't know what they do. And I wouldn't know how to describe Satine to them if I tried. So
curt. Sassy.
I transfer a picture of Satine to the data pad and be like, "Well, that's what you have to work with."
But it's like 15 years old.
Yeah, just like a news clipping.
You had to crop Obi-Wan out of it, but
Muckraking pacifist causing trouble again today with Death Watch. And ask Orlena if she would like to approach the counter.
Yeah, did we have... We're just trying to go down in this hotel, aren't we? Isn't that the idea?
this was also the last place she was seen.
Oh.
The last
Right.
place anyone had eyes on her. So presumably she's staying here.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
which might mean that her
Okay.
security
Yeah.
detail can be gotten at from here.
Then yeah, I'll approach the counter and I will try and use as much poise as possible.
Yes, go speak bureaucrat at them.
Okay. So you glide up to the counter, and there is a young Twi'lek man behind the counter, and he asks, "Can I be of some assistance? Are you looking for a garage, perhaps?"
Oh, don't mind the vulture droid. It's merely a security measure.
Who would be concerned?
We are looking for the Duchess Satine. We heard that she was last sighted staying here.
I cannot provide any information about guests staying at the Coruscant Hotel. And he kind of thinks for a second, and he says, "Or not staying at the Coruscant Hotel."
What if it is an emergency matter and we must get a hold of her? You know, seeing as she is a duchess and all, she is importantly needed at the Jedi Temple, and we've been having trouble reaching her.
If it was a true emergency, I would think you would have some sort of way to communicate to her with a comm link or a special frequency or something.
Now think about what you just said. If it were a true emergency, wouldn't you think that maybe a communication link would be broken down?
Well, if it was a true emergency, I don't think asking me for information I'm not legally allowed to give you and kind of this tete-a-tete would help if she's bleeding out somewhere or been shot with a blaster.
Jedi business.
Yes, and you also don't want a
I lasted a
duchess
whole
bleeding
minute.
out in your hotel.
Don't
He-
have time.
He flips a switch and a little view screen appears in front of him, and it just says, "This counter is closed." And he says, "I will get my manager."
Thank you. We could have done that several tits and tats ago.
There we go. That was very good, Orlena. I feel like a little more aggressive passivity would have really pushed it down.
That's how
But you were doing very
passivity
good. Yes.
It's my first time out in a while. You know.
No, dude, you're doing great.
You didn't mind trick him or threaten him with a lightsaber.
You didn't cut off any of his arms.
All good things.
What's the paperwork for severing someone's arm?
Ooh.
I was going to say, I know there's not a form for discharging your lightsaber in the line of duty, because the Jedi Temple would just be swimming in them.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, certainly not.
Okay, so
But limb vouchers, they come at a steep price.
Val, can I get a sense? A search check, please.
roll a billion dice.
Mm-hmm.
It's only 14.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Roll all of the dice.
It used to be 15, but then I sawed off one of my antenna.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, I thought you meant you only got 14. I was like, oh, well, that's not great, but...
Yeah, was it a
No,
one dice?
60 because my exploding dice went off once.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
Okay. There are a lot of people down here and a lot of levels to scan. So you don't think you're going to be able to find one person. But you noticed on the way in, like there was like a little info pad that told you how many levels that the hotel has, and it goes up above the surface to be a medium skyrise, and then it goes 10 or 15 layers down. But using your big scan, this hotel goes down a lot further than that. They just must not be using them for rooms or something like that. But it's clearly a really big hotel. So if you could get into those corridors, you could go a lot further into the depths of Coruscant. But other than that, you're kind of... there's over 5,000 levels of Coruscant, so kind of pinging in every direction. There's also a lot of stuff on Coruscant, so you can't really necessarily like sonar kind of things. It's just all bouncing back to you in a way where it's just like, yeah, there's just so much crap. But you have a good sense of where you are and kind of how far down you could go pretty easily in here if Kaya or Orlena could get you kind of down a bit. And then you think if you kept pinging, you just keep getting more and more of a good map of the lower levels of Coruscant, which there aren't really any because it's complicated. Both politically and literally. You could get lost and it would be like a maze down here and you would just never be found. Which is possible that's what happened to Satine.
Gonna just keep pinging and building that maze then.
Perfect.
Let's have us a map.
With a 60, the other thing you notice, and Roz, can I get a search or sense check from you, please?
Search or sense. Let's see.
Is it that panic button from earlier going off? Do we notice armed soldiers walk in?
Get on the ground.
I guess sense would be better because I had. Well. Let's do search.
Okay. Perfect.
Oh.
That's a good sound.
That's a 7. No, an 8.
Okay.
But my special dice was 1 too.
Uh-oh.
Force users are having a real good one tonight.
Okay.
It's there's a lot of so many sapient beings. Really, it's very difficult to filter them out.
The walls are literally vibrating. Tell me more about it.
Terrible.
Okay.
We might have found something in common just now, pal. Too much noise in this goddamn place.
Yep.
Okay.
Same-sies. Big same-sies.
I have to think of how this can go. Well, it doesn't always have to go wrong. So you just botch it. It's you start to turn, and this hotel is really kind of cool and interesting, and you can see a lot of different maintenance droids than you've noticed in the Jedi Temple or other places on Coruscant. So you're kind of like, oh, that's interesting, and maybe you're looking at, these big. I always think they're so funny looking. They look like Zambonis, basically, but they're big cleaner droids, and they're like street sweepers. They just kind of peruse down buildings and stuff. And the Jedi Temple doesn't really have those because they're kind of... they're kind of just too big for the Jedi Temple's like aesthetic. They don't like obvious kind of maintenance droids rolling around. So one of those catches your eyes. But with Val's 60, she also notices. There is a young woman wearing kind of tattered blue tunic and black tights, and she has been very casually, in quotes, approaching Orlena, and as she gets close to Orlena, she clearly tries to reach out and take Orlena's lightsaber.
What is the loudest noise that Val can make?
Missiles.
Short of discharging a weapon.
Yeah, you can make
It's probably pretty gnarly considering she has some audio sensors.
Yeah, like it's going to be loud. So any kind of alarm, klaxon, just scream like R2, like yell Roger Roger, which would probably terrify everyone in here. But yeah, you can make you are very loud. You would audibly be able to be heard over the din of this room, no matter what you do or say.
All of the above.
Okay. Just
like very briefly for just like a brief moment. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I'll turn around and look like, what the hell?
You see a young woman whose hand is not on your lightsaber, but very close to it, or where your lightsaber was before you turned around. Or you sense her through the Force, but
can I grab her hand?
sure. You snatch her hand.
Excuse you?
Excuse you. You can't just grab kids.
Is it a child?
She's like a teenager probably, and probably an older teenager, but she's
The worst.
She's clearly using that would be bad bad optics for a Jedi Knight to be kind of doing, aggressing a child.
I'm simply trying to grab a hand that was coming towards me.
She says,
"Is there a reason why it was?"
Kaya, you can see she kind of looks at you and looks back at the Vulture droid and says,
Airing. This person has my undivided attention at the moment.
No, I must have tripped.
Hmm.
Can I? It's an insight check. Is it simply young Aladdin saw an expensive piece of black marketable stuff to sell?
100%.
Right.
Yeah. This kid doesn't look like and granted, I mean, to you, maybe everything's a Sith plot. Maybe this is a Sith plot to get a lightsaber. But no, yeah, she's got a greasy, oily like with literal like mechanics grease kind of on her face. She does have a blaster at her pistol, but it's a pretty small like holdout pistol, which you're also pretty sure are illegal. But yeah. But yeah,
I didn't come here to confiscate firearms.
So much easier to just slice off the whole arm.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, you think it's like an Aladdin situation.
Yeah. What's your name, girl?
She squints and clearly hesitates for a second and says, Erica.
Now, your real name.
She said she nods a little firmer and says, Erica, old lady.
Yeah. Well done. It's not impossible we could use some help getting down below. I could certainly compensate you for your time. I have the person who
Jay might know
Just
something.
stare
Does
at
Jay know
Adopt
something?
this
Like,
gremlin.
excuse me.
Adopt her.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Like,
I will
absolutely
need
not.
I will need a receipt. Yes, no. But yes, I don't believe that stealing from Jedi would be your next best bet. However, certainly you're familiar with things below this lobby, and as soon as we can get some service, I expect that we have a missing person that we're looking to find below, which can be, of course, naturally tricky for Jedi who kind of stick out like sore thumbs.
She does her best to snatch her hand away from Orlena. How much resistance does she meet, Orlena?
Oh, I'll let her go.
Okay. She says, "I don't work for cops."
Okay. Well, I wouldn't suggest trying to steal from them either, then, dear. Are you have you seen? Is this your grift here? You hang out in hotel lobbies and steal from people checking in, or
I've never been here before.
have
In
you
my
seen this
life.
woman? No, shows the team.
Well, as she says, "I've never been here before in my life." You kind of your eyes unfocus, and you can see in the background there is a picture of her that says, "Do not serve this woman."
Yeah. Do not accept checks from.
Yeah.
Yeah, so being that you're brand new here, what I could really use is a fresh set of eyes. Yes, have you seen this woman? Not so much checking in, but having left on her own, perhaps trying to dress down or go incognito.
Hold on one second.
I have a Dyson Streetwise.
Can you give
pretty hip.
Can you give me a streetwise check, please?
Okay, sure. I was actually just being a smartass, but I can actually.
I was going to look up your character sheet to look for the appropriate skill. I was going to ask you to roll.
Yep.
So
I was gonna say I also have a 4D if you need it.
you can also make a streetwise check then, yeah, because
Oof. I almost guarantee I whiff it because I got let's see, 5, 8. I got 10, but again, my super dice is a 1. Whatever. What's it called? It's not a fate dice. That's what I keep wanting to call it.
wild die.
Wild die.
Or yes.
Hello, fellow child.
I already called you an old lady. Like
You do, fellow kids.
Yes,
I got a 17.
17. Okay.
I'm into death sticks and K-pop.
Who wants to play some Pogs in the back alley? Okay. When you show her that picture, she unconsciously, and Orlena, you pick up on this, unconsciously touches a pouch on her belt, and she says, "And yeah, what if I have seen her?"
Well, where? I could still offer you some compensation, for instance.
Let's maybe talk about that then. I wasn't into it before, but now maybe this won't be so hard. So what can you offer me? Better be worth a lightsaber.
It absolutely would not be worth a lightsaber.
Looks
I
at
believe,
Val. What about the droid?
No.
No, honey.
Shoot for the stars.
How about
You miss every shot you don't take. Which in Star Wars is a lot of shots, actually. You also miss all the shots you do take. If you...
Well, I guess compensation could be equal to how useful the information would be to us.
But then there's no guarantee you pay me. Because you could just say it's not useful and then you leave.
We could agree on a base price and the price could go up from there.
She does some calculating in her head. And she says, credits, or are you paying in something else?
Whichever
Credits
would be
will be
more
fine.
useful to
No, they won't.
Oh, you didn't describe that they were a Toydarian.
Yeah. No, they are human. They are human.
No, I expected credits would be most useful to you, but
She asks if you have spice.
absolutely not, young lady. And I think you should,
Again, barking up to the wrong tree.
yeah, I think you should just know that.
She will
I
say
think you called me a narc a minute ago.
She will say spice has many legitimate uses in its raw form. She wants raw spice. It's confusing because spice is both the name of the drug version of it,
Yes,
and also
yes.
the thing that you used to make like Bacta and shit.
Yeah.
It's true.
Not on me. No, I didn't. I don't have my walking around spice with
Bunch
me.
squares, okay.
Are you a knock? You have to tell me if you're a knock.
This is a bust.
It was internal affairs all along.
Yeah, no.
CATF, get on the ground. Or CASTF, I don't know. DF, spice, death sticks, and firearms.
Sure. Blasters. Yeah.
And synthahol or Romulan ale or whatever we drink.
Whatever the fuck it is. Look, no, it's credits or nothing.
She kind of sighs. And she says, fine, credits.
What I said.
She says, okay, I can do one of two things for you. Let's establish a base price. If my information is good for you, 200 credits.
Okay.
If it's better than that, a bonus perhaps. And if maybe the second thing sounds okay to you, I want a finder's fee of another 100.
Yes. Let's start there.
She kind of squints at you like maybe she misplayed her hand. Maybe she could have gotten more.
1,000,000,000% more. My basement was much higher than that. But my accountant's here, so...
I meant in the lower levels when we say 200, you add 3 more zeros to the back end.
I see. That's too high.
It's slang.
So just kind of like lean in closer. When is the last you saw the woman from the picture?
She says 2 days ago. I put her in contact with a man, a guy who I occasionally run stuff for, who said he could get her into the lower levels of the city. I can put you in touch with that man. I'm going to tell you, he's not going to like Jedi, so this is going to come at great personal expense to me, your friend, Erica. The name I gave earlier.
I remember. Yes. I expect that. Well, first, do I sense any deceit from her? Do I think that this is straight up? Like, I actually do believe you, Andrew, but
Sure, but
my character needs to believe.
But give
It's
me
not-
give me a sense.
Come
check.
into this alleyway where all my Rodean friends are. What did you say, sense check?
Yes, please.
I'm a year old. I believe her completely.
Yes.
Okay.
That's one too many because of my spice dice or whatever it is. All right, cool. This is much, much better. This is the gas we're used to. 27.
Okay. You have to probe deeper than you're used to on the average citizen. Like, she's got some walls up.
Mm-hmm.
She's... And Orlena, you're starting to kind of grok this too by looking at her and sensing her. She has some pretty decent level of force sensitivity. She probably doesn't know that, but...
Kind of nod at Kaya.
But why I'm being nodded at the moment. Yes.
And also with you. But you think once you kind of get through that, you think she's being honest. She's clearly withholding
She's not leading me
something.
into a Huttese den or
No, you don't
ambush.
think so. You think she is purposefully withholding more information she knows, but you don't think she's leading you into a trap.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's just smart. Yes, please.
If she remembers something later, maybe that's useful to you.
Take us to this friend of yours. And it was 2 days ago?
Yeah.
That's forever in Coruscant time. She's dead. She's being eaten by vent rats.
They're 3 meters long. It's terrible.
It's terrifying. Too big, some would say. Anyway. Yes, I would very much like to meet this friend of yours.
I think that can be arranged. The manager finally comes out, and Erica leans over and says, "We've got it, Valsy. Thanks." And starts to walk away. And Valsy's like, "What? Can I help you, Master Jedi?"
You could have.
Yes, 10 minutes ago, perhaps. That would have been fantastic.
Well, I was on my Union 15.
Well,
I'll be sure to include that in my report.
What?
yes.
No, keep my name off your force.
No, Ballsy, was it?
Ballsy, was it?
No,
Yes.
Jinx.
You wear
just flop sweat. He's a Doros, and you don't know if they're supposed to do that. Like, that might be bad
Sure.
him.
No, considering the most that Ballsy could have provided was the security detail that she's already escaped. I figure the street rat's the better option here, so... Peace out.
Okay.
I'm taking these mints. It doesn't say limit 1, so these are all mine.
Okay, whose job was it to get the limit 1 sign? I've been asking for weeks. You know what?
I'm writing down in my inventory pocket full of grandma mints now.
perfect.
Yeah, done. Okay, so is there anything anyone would like to do before they leave? Any information they do want to try and get from anything in here? Val or Ros, especially?
Well, Roz was gonna ask Val to check to see if she could, scan and pick up any of the, Mandalorian armor.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that since we've encountered Mandos back when we were dealing with the Martha's Mandos. Is there any sort of signature that the armor has that? Because one of them was viewfindering her. At one point.
So there's you got you were around them long enough that you probably would have been able to you'd be able to scan for Beskar, and you'd be able to scan for the specific signature that viewfinders give off when trying to lock onto rockets. And I won't even make you roll again because you rolled a 60 earlier.
Okay.
So this is the benefit of the wild die kicking in. It's kind of you're rolling forward with it. So, good or bad news, you don't scan any Beskar in the immediate area. I don't think that Kaya has told either of you that that Satine isn't like those Mandalorians, but it
Right.
does provide you information that she's not being hunted by those people like those
which
Mandalorians,
is a concern.
which is a good
Yeah.
it's a good piece of information that Death Watch isn't around. Although at this point, Satine still thinks Death Watch are just a bunch of like vandals and hooligans. Like they're just gonna spray paint Satine sucks instead of try and overthrow her and get really far and do it kind of.
Yeah. Well, she makes it out the other side of that series healthy and,
Oh,
and
yeah,
whole,
she's
if I
fine.
remember correctly. She's fine.
She's not fine.
It's
10-year-old spoilers.
it's fine.
It's
Um,
real sad.
Now, is she taking us to an elevator or is she taking us to the street?
She's taking you to the street because technically she's not allowed in that hotel.
That's true.
Also, it would need to be a very tall elevator.
Yes.
Yes. Well, yes, I would expect
you need
that
to get the cargo elevator out
we
back.
would need
Yeah.
the cargo elevator. But no, and my expectation is Satine left here. So, I mean, yes, going down further within the hotel was part of my plan if we needed to do that. But if we can get there from the street and we have a flying vehicle or two available to us, I think we're still on the right path.
So yeah, she waits for you outside. She's poking around on the ground for like death stick butts.
Gross.
Ew.
She doesn't find any good ones.
You make a lot of questionable choices.
I'm sorry, it's not as nice down here as you're used to, Surface Worlder.
Orlena.
Okay, we got two options. We can go my way, or we can take one of your ships. I assume you have ships.
Yes, the Vulture droid's with us.
Right, I meant other. Are we all going to climb on the Vulture droid? I see the
I can
harness.
fit about 2 people.
Yeah,
Yes,
Maybe
no.
4 in a pinch.
probably 4 in a pinch, but
2 of you are gonna have to cling to the side, and that's not really safe with the harness.
We have the Lambda shuttle here, or we can go on foot. However you feel most comfortable, Eric.
yeah, let's go on foot instead of your cop car. Okay, cool.
Cool.
It doesn't have lights on. Well, I mean, it has landing lights on,
Yes,
but it doesn't have the
there's-
swirly
There's
ones.
tiny little. No, you couldn't read more of a. Look at how nice it is.
Yeah.
It's going to stick out like 2 levels down. Yeah.
Like she points at basically the Millennium Falcon. She's like that fits in.
Ugh.
You know, it doesn't look that great, but it's actually got some really nice mechanics in there. It's kind of interesting.
It's very customizable, but it's basically a conversion van.
I absolutely love that Han Solo's bragging that he souped up his Dodge Caravaner or whatever. Like it's the Geo
now-
Metro of spaceships.
Always and forever in my mind, I will be upset he does not have a wizard spray painted on the side.
100%. It's just a wizard painting away.
Yeah, it's a light freighter. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a cargo ship.
Cargo wagon.
Yeah, it's
It's just some dirtbag's van.
it's several different.
he switched out the
dirtbags,
motor.
man. Yeah, and he
Well
also
done.
trapped a sentient being in its computer. So great
Oh.
job, Han. I like that movie. That's not quite fair. But
Every new Star Wars makes Star Wars worse. I also like that movie.
Never saw it.
It's
Yeah.
fine. Very missable.
You're not here. You're not missing anything. I'll take out all the Solo references.
No, yes, then
And actually,
Roz, why don't you stay with Val to kind of hover along with us as long as until we turn kind of further in, right? Because we're kind of like on the lip, right? We flew here.
right.
Do we need to go interior, or are we going down first? In which case, I think
going to go down. The good thing about Val is it's as long as she's not in walking mode, she has a pretty sleek profile. So if she just kind of flips to fly, like that, as long as the height clearance is okay, she can fit through some pretty narrow alleyways. I was actually thinking about putting a Solo reference in here as one of the bad guys, or one of the criminal people you'd meet. But I wasn't going to. I won't now. Anyway, but I wasn't going to. I had decided against it. Okay. So, you all
do they know Terrace Kazi? Because it's going to be a real problem for us.
It's canon now.
Shit. Get for saying something.
Don't talk in front of the Game Master.
I know.
Crimzano appears and
Jet. Don't make up Brothers of Red Dragons when you're covering up the Red Dragon murder. It's a pro tip from a galaxy far, far away.
Wrong star stream. Sorry. So Erica starts walking you down a couple different alleys. You have to jump a couple times down a couple levels, and you think you're walking for a while, and Val looks at some tight calls, but Erica's not wrong. Val fits through everything, especially with Ros kind of, you're good.
And now turn a little more sideways.
It's and pivot.
Is that one of our lightsaber modes? Is guiding sticks?
She does have a flashlight mode.
Mm-hmm.
She do.
So Erica keeps walking. At some point, she looks back over her shoulder, and she says, "So why do you even care about this lady?"
Very important to some very important people.
Oh, that's what brings Jedi down here? Okay.
Yes. I don't think that should be a terrible shock to you. It's easy to fall in the shadow of the temple, unfortunately, but we don't dispense Jedi for... I'm just kind of look around
for
and
what? Humanitarian aid? Justice? What don't you dispense Jedi for? It's apparently finding rich people, is what it is.
I don't know that I could say it better than that, Erica.
Well, she gets quiet because you agreed with her, and snotty teenagers have no way to defend against that. Nope. We're fine.
I won't defend it. I won't tell you it's fair or good practice, but yes, I think anymore we are dispensed to do the Senate's bidding. And the Senate doesn't particularly care about what's under its nose. I could apologize for it, but I don't think you'd accept it, and I wouldn't blame you.
I saw the Chancellor once. He likes to come down here with, his newest pet project, some kid, I don't know. I guess wants to show him that the criminals aren't to be afraid of or something. Trying to make some macho point. Which is weird because he's really not that macho.
Real beta, yeah. Palpatine
Yeah. Yeah. Hangs out in that bar.
Comes down.
What?
Chancellor Palpatine comes down here.
Yeah. This is canon, by the way.
Valorum was like a man of the people, Terrence Stamp type. You know what I mean? Like
He was a real Terrence Stamp type.
But you will have to color me surprised that Palpatine has ever gotten the brim of his robes soiled. But
he tries to hide it. He thinks people don't notice, but
I can't imagine him pulling off any kind of hidden agenda.
What?
Oh, welcome to Galaxy and Revolt, where it's nothing but non-stop meta jokes.
Yeah, he is all surface, if you ask me. No reason to probe deeper.
Yes, Rob.
What kid is he bringing down here?
Oh, some blonde kid with a stupid rat tail.
They all have rat tails, dear. You will have to be.
Oh, he kind of looks. She kind of looks at Roz. Right. Okay. I don't know. Looks like he probably
Has
hates
it, but it's
sand.
like sticking out in some weird angle, cutting the rest of her hair.
You have like
Yeah, that's right. Because Gulpins are
it's
all
just one bead way out here, like that one.
Yeah. No, it must be some form of common knowledge that Skywalker is some kind of teacher's pet, wouldn't you just?
Yeah. So it's probably especially among the masters, the Jedi Masters. There's probably some manner of controversy of like, why is Obi-Wan letting this dude like mentor his Padawan? Like,
right.
Like it's probably shade on Obi-Wan because Anakin doesn't know any better. He's a teenager. It's not his fault. But yeah, Obi-Wan like, you're not gonna stop. Like this is. You're supposed to be, like, indoctrinating him into the Jedi way. Not getting him...
Yeah.
Especially as Obi-Wan, in every prequel, says how much he hates politicians. Like...
Yeah, I think... Yeah, I'll cut to the chase that I do know who she's probably talking about. And I'm just now trying to orient, like, how I probably feel about any of it, but I would like to expect that after the incident with Qui-Gon, I've taken an interest in both Obi-Wan and Skywalker to enough of a degree.
Yeah, you'll watch their careers with great interest.
Yeah. And I expect at some point Palpatine was, like, certainly dramatic irony. We know that he's being a faker about it, but probably expressed some sympathy for the loss of my great friend, Qui-Gon.
Oh, almost certainly.
And, yeah, I think Palpatine's mostly harmless, and who cares if the kid, like, it's important to have connections.
Yeah, and to your point of view, or to other points of view, like kind of maybe some of the less hardliner Jedi who were like, you're only supposed to get this. You're supposed to get the Jedi point of view. It's what makes you a Jedi. It's what helps you understand the difference between loving and forming attachments.
Right.
Because Anakin's not wrong. You are supposed to love people, but he just can't do it without forming attachments. And yeah, you Chancellor Palpatine is a father figure in a way that Obi-Wan can't be to Anakin.
Yeah, I have some negative opinions about Obi-Wan. Not like deep, but yeah, look.
He's always lying.
He's not great.
Why?
He fell pretty far from the tree, for being honest. But it's the only man who killed a Sith. Gotta like that. Wish he'd shut up about it.
For now. Sith Lords are his speciality.
Yes. We know.
He says it a lot. It's weird.
And then he had the high ground, and that's how I knew I had him, said Obi-Wan probably. So yeah, I'll just nod and say Skywalker, and I'll let everyone else in. It's Skywalker, almost certainly. Well, that's news to me. I would almost have to give the Chancellor credit. Although I don't know so much about the don't be afraid of the criminal element part, but I'm going to have to meditate on that later. Sorry, Orlena.
What? If I can interrupt for a moment, what do they do? You said he just tours them around?
They mostly hang out in that bar and talk. I'll tell you the next time they're down here for 100 credits.
Meaning you'll come and find us the next time they're down here, or you can predict when they'll be down here next?
Like, I'd call you.
Yep. It's just probably a Nunaball bar, you know what I mean? Probably has a favorite team.
Oh. I understand now.
Were you just furiously Wikipediaing Star Wars ports?
No, hold on. What the robot football in Star Wars called? Google search. I should have muted it. It's too obvious. I was like, I know somewhere there's this robot football.
There's robot football. I don't remember what one that's in, but it's definitely in one of the movies.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So there you go. It's called Nunaball.
Too perfect.
I even had this thought of just like, oh, Marty got real quiet for some reason. Is focusing on something?
Like what would you call a football bar down here? Yeah, there we go. My whole process.
When I thought it was just some sports reference I didn't understand, which it was. It was just
a
Star Wars sports reference.
It's that robot football.
Yeah. Oh, Erica will nod and say, oh yes, the robot football.
We call it footy down here.
It's a whole culture thing.
It's called droidy. I'm fascinating. Is he well regarded, or does everyone kind of think, what's this Ponce doing here?
She looks around and she just looks back at you.
Yeah. Interesting. Please lead on, Erica.
Yeah, I mean, I just say him. It's not like he's my best friend or anything. She will continue to walk. Eventually, you all get to the ominous warehouse district of this lower level of Coruscant. There's a bunch of flickering lights, and
they actually have these installed.
It's for the ambiance.
Yeah.
It's a Twi'lek
because
word.
by having them stay on, it takes more power, but if they flicker, it's energy efficient.
Yeah.
That's right.
We're nothing if not green down here.
A glob of oil falls from the ceiling.
Yeah, more a grayish puce.
Now, 2 layers down is all smog, so we're going to avoid that one. Okay. So, in Arabesh flickering neon, the sign says semi-legitimate trade services. And she says it's this one. Semi-legitimate's as good as we get down here.
At least it's semi. Am I right?
Legitimate's right in the title.
Always looking on the bright side, Roz. So yeah, the door slides open, and she just kind of yells, "Talon! I brought Jedi." That sounds worse than I meant it to.
Place is probably crawling with force-resistant rodents.
A middle-aged man. He's kind of got what could kindly be described as a mullet, but he's pulling it off
A little bit.
in a little bit of a way of like, yeah, you know what? That works. But he's
It's a real Marley's dad situation.
Yeah.
Leaning hard on the mullets but work.
But he has dark hair, graying at the temples, a goatee. It's kind of cut short on the top, and then it's a mullet. I already said that. But he's wearing a smuggler's vest, and he looks at the girl, and she says, "It's me, Erica." And he nods. Yeah. Okay. Oh my Jedi business. So always happy to meet with a Jedi. Can I get anyone some tea or calf? I must warn you, I only have the instant stuff.
No, thank you.
Keep it in the fridge.
That won't be necessary.
That's how the crystals stay good.
Shouldn't be crystals. No, thank you, Talon. And we don't want to take up any more of your time or have you be seen with us any more than the reverse is probably true. We understand that you helped a young woman slip her security detail from the Coruscant Arms a few days ago. You were put in contact with her. We have some great interest in her ongoing safety, and if you had any information as to where she was, I don't have to take a selfie with you and post it on the gram.
He will gesture for Erica to come closer, and he'll lean in, but you're all Jedi, and three of you are Jedi, and the other one has the keenest senses imaginable. So his whisper does not go unheard amongst all of you. And he says, "You're sure they're Jedi?" And, is that a vulture droid?
Yes, hi.
It kind of just blended into the background. Jeez, they're Sith spawn, Erica. She's like, "Yeah, I tried to steal one of their lightsabers." Cool and great.
Yes, it is.
Cool and great, Erica.
He says, "Look, I have a reputation to maintain of not ratting out my clients, of not being a terrifying
semi-legitimate business.
Semi-legitimate. The legitimate part is not ratting people out."
Do you know the identity of the person you helped hide? Sorry, Orlena. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, we are not trying to legitimize your business any more or less than it is currently. We just, again, are concerned for the safety.
She's a Mandalorian. One of the nice ones.
Okay, good. Because that could be misleading. Yes, she is a rather important person. Who...
Once again, Erica kind of grabs her pouch, and Talon just looks at her and like, I can't even with you right now, Erica.
What sensors say are in that pouch?
Doing a quick little scan. Jewelry.
Okay.
Look, I understand that especially if she paid you or arranged for herself to disappear below, that you would feel any hesitation to betray any trust. A smuggler's word, so to speak, is all that they are. I have no interest in betraying whatever your word was to the girl, but she does not belong down here. I would have thought that would have been immediately obvious.
It was, but the boatload of credits she showed up with said something else. He kind of thinks for a second, and he says, okay, yeah, I can see where I maybe made a mistake.
I think that actually is back to my point, if we're being honest. But
Point match, Jedi. From Nunaball, or whatever it was called.
goal score. For sure. Yes. And look, she is a capable woman. I don't expect her to be, eaten by the first Gondoks that come across her. Remember a bunch of years ago, illegal Gondoks were a whole thing.
Oh, yeah,
people just let them loose.
They thought it was
cute,
and then they got big.
Yeah, they get big. They
It's
flush them.
It's a real problem down here. Thank you for noticing.
Look,
our rampant Gundark problem.
They're all ears. Again, very adorable as a baby. Eventually, yeah. So. So it's going to take me a second to recover. But yes, I expect that she's still surviving. Was she? Well, I don't want to ask you, was she looking to connect with someone in particular? If you could just let me through the same access ways that you pointed her at, it would be a start.
Yes. But once again, I have a reputation. I have a business to maintain.
You all have reputations, I guess.
I won't do it for free.
Is there anything that we can do to help your reputation?
No, you're Janet. No, I don't think so. Unless I can beat you up.
No.
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 Can I?
You can try punching me, but that would probably hurt you more than me.
You could give us the slip.
She just keeps going.
It's remarkably tall.
It's beautiful craftsmanship. Can I?
Oh, thank you.
Wait, why did Jedi have a vulture droid?
You know what, Kevin? I'm not asking a lot of probing questions about your business. I would expect the favor to be returned.
Fair.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we could say you got away from us. We totally had you cornered and...
How about this? I'll give you what you need. Mm-hmm. You walk out and you say, not that I gave you the slip, but I never said a word. Talon cards, no rat. No 9-foot-long sewer rat.
Your name is Talon Card? Okay, you know what? Yes, great. Sure, in the future, you run some kind of giant gambling vessel. I actually now canonically want the reason that he searches for resistant rodents is because of this encounter right now.
I will say I am messing up. I'm pulling a Rebels on canon.
Good.
I'm taking named people and putting them in different places.
Yes.
And different scenarios. Also, he may show up in The Mandalorian. Who knows?
I wouldn't say no.
And then his name is just spelled differently.
Kind of find him kind of cool.
Yeah.
He's designed to be cool, which I always
he's also designed to be
resistant to, but he's cool.
Zahn. He's just Zahn again. Or a self-insert, but...
Yes, absolutely. We will show a great show of frustration upon leaving your establishment that we couldn't get a damn word out of Talon Card. I used force suggestion and everything.
Yeah,
a strong will most certainly would.
Yeah, and it's definitely not these illegal lizard rats that project a force bubble. Just as a whole habit trail around this whole thing. Yep. It's a evocative image. Sounds good. Why don't you come back in a couple hours? Okay, now. Jeez. I'll meet you around back.
Very good.
Thank you.
What can the Vulture droid just go with you? It's very conspicuous to get them to and from.
Oh, yeah. Can you say I won the Vulture droid in a game of Sabacc?
No.
You got it.
I just think it would draw more attention.
Yeah. It's clangy.
But we will be right around back.
Okay. Please come with me, Master Vulture droid.
Val is gonna take a couple steps and then kind of look back like, go myself
Oh,
alone,
we'll be right behind you.
just around back.
Yeah.
It's not very far, is it? And looks back at Talon.
No. I bet my life on it.
Okay.
You are.
That's what I'm afraid of.
I'll keep my comm link open so you can talk to me if you need to.
Okay.
Okay.
So is your Padawan in charge of the Vulture droid? I'm just...
If I was to say that it's a giant baby space droid, which of those would you think was the most important adjective?
The giant one.
Damn it.
Never gonna win this bet.
Well, like a big baby could just be like a meter. Like that's a giant baby. Anyway, yes, of course.
Okay. The three of you walk outside. Val, Talon starts to lead you. Erica had gone into a back room and she comes back out. She's clearly washed her face of her Dickensian orphan kind of thing. She's taken off her... She had a hat. She had all of her hair kind of piled into a hat, so she's less recognizable because she has pretty bright red hair, and she puts on like a sleeveless tunic, and she's got kind of a half cape. And she rejoins Talon, and they walk you out back and wait a couple minutes, and Erica kind of skirts around to the side to beckon the three of you as you loudly complain that Talon cards.
Oh, yeah.
No snitch.
Oh, and I do make a bit of a mess of it too. Like I walk out like, "Damn you, card!" Like ignite both lightsabers, so it's very obvious. I shall bring the entire temple down upon you, card, for your resistance.
It starts raining out of nowhere, and you fall to your knees in the mud.
God.
It's literally just raining over you. Someone like a level up is dumping out a bucket, and then they hear the shout.
No good. It's old washing. I shouldn't have opened my mouth to say card too much. Damn your resistance to my foul Jedi mind powers and my persistent line of questioning. And I shall disignite both of my lightsabers, put them down.
Oh my
And
gosh.
come,
Good.
3 Jedi, a knight, a Padawan, and a master. We will get nothing here. We should just
Surely...
nip down this alley real quick.
Yes, surely we should sulk and lick our wounds from
Yes,
the
I
great
believe it's this
mental
way
strength.
to the temple.
Someone watching shakes their head and says, "That's not the way to the temple." I'm gonna have to remember Talon Card, though. He gets things done.
Guy seems semi-legit.
All of my illegal activities I don't want Jedi to know about.
Which is all my activities. Wow.
I exclusively deal in anti-Jedi activities.
It's a common refrain here.
Okay, so you walk around the corner. Talon Guard is waiting. He kind of, yeah, that was great.
Thank you.
Okay, so what happened was the kid, the young woman, came in, asked me to put her in contact with, not a smuggler. Asked me to put her in contact with a smuggler who could run supplies to Mandalore because she's getting, I don't know, pressure or something. I zoned in and out. She went on a whole scree about politics and pacifism and the corruption of the Republic, but also the decadency of the Confederacy. And I'm like, I play both sides, lady. I really don't care.
She is an ideologue, yes.
And she refused to take my blaster that I offered her, and I thought that was bad.
Actually, thank you for even offering it to her. It actually speaks well of you.
It's part of the package. So,
okay. The starter pack.
But yeah, so if I can get you to that rendezvous, but that was at this point 36 hours ago. I'd hoped she would have finished her business by then, but
The Coruscant minute. Okay.
She didn't go back to like her hotel or anything?
No, she's been missing long enough for the Jedi to notice, if that tells you anything.
Oh, that's bad.
Famously quick to move Jedi.
Oh, that's bad.
Yes.
I screwed up.
I don't know if you did. You struggled a little bit to define the smuggler. Is there a better word in Huttese for it? Because I speak Huttese.
Yeah, he will say runner of spice, legal and not legal. He says, I think she wanted it for legal purposes. Which is a shame, because you can make a lot more money the other way.
I like that he seems to be like revealing her shame there. I'm just kind of like, I think she meant the legal stuff. Am I right with this kid? Who knows?
I like you, Master Jedi.
How cool. Well, certainly I expect you're too important to leave your shipyard, but if we could borrow young Erica here, I also need to settle up with her separately, but if she could go a little bit further to get us to your smuggler, or at least in the right direction, I'd appreciate it.
He kind of looks at Erica and he says, side deal. Nice. Well, Erica, you are free to continue your side hustle. And I'm proud of you. They grow up so fast.
Starting to understand a little bit more.
Well, if you need me again, don't look me up. I've been telling Card. And he moseys back into his shop, and there's a noticeable line.
A pleasure, Master Card.
You shouted real loud.
The lightsabers were a good touch, too.
Thank you.
Is that what that sizzling was?
Yes. Yes. And was that old soup or was that washing material? I got a lot of it in my mouth.
Oh, you wish.
Probably best not to ask.
Ooh, neither.
Yeah.
Quit scanning.
Okay.
Yeah, I will say 0 the Hutt's a level up, so just a heads up.
Tremendous.
Erica asks, "Can I see a lightsaber?"
Why?
I've never seen one. I just want to see it.
Like you want to touch it or you want to see it ignited? Or see it from a distance in someone else's hand? You need to be clear.
Okay.
I'm not sure how useful that would be either. They're all different.
I mean, I'd like to hold it, but I understand that that's probably not allowed. So if someone could just light it, that'd be cool.
Rather frowned upon. I'll take out the littler one, my wakizashi, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Your shoto.
Yeah, ignite it. Do the kind of Luke when he first just kind of wow it a little bit. That's not in the movie.
It's not. Oh man, it bothers Mark Hamill too. It's like, dude, that's not in the movie.
Not in the movie. That is not in the cut. That was off camera.
Someone was explaining to me how the prop worked.
It's very funny, but I didn't do that.
Yeah, but she kind of just mesmerizedly looks at the lightsaber kind of swish back and forth.
They're very dangerous.
Do you have an interest in these things, or is it just a passing curiosity?
You know, I almost got one earlier, so I was just wondering how they worked.
Almost.
Tripping indeed.
They're very dangerous, and without training in the Force, you're likelier to hurt yourself than you are any opponent.
She said, I don't know. I heard about some people who can use them without the Force. I'm pretty lucky. I don't know.
Yes. Erica, would you say that you have strong intuition? You're good at reading people?
Yeah. You gotta be down here. And she'll say, and my name's not Erica.
Oh, no.
It's not?
Even the droid was sarcastic.
I heard it.
Oh, no, she wasn't. She was the only one that was.
Oh, okay.
That's even better.
Why would you deceive us in such a base manner? I don't understand.
Yeah. Why would you falsify personal data?
Saying your name is something your name isn't?
Who does that benefit? We don't know what's wrong. That's not a prank. That's nothing.
How am I the fool for having trusted you?
Oh, pardon my snort laugh. She will mutter that her name is Mara.
Motherfucker.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Mara.
Yeah, yours too.
Mara Verde, very nice to meet you.
Yep. It's Mara Verde.
Mara Verde. Well, pleased to make your acquaintance, Mara, and I hope you know that you do not need to deceive us. I have no interest in blowing up your spot. And you will be compensated.
Yeah, you all seem cool.
Yes, well...
You seem very nice, Miss Mara. Under all the angry which I get.
You can see a slight tear forms in her eye. And she says, "No, I'm not."
Of course
Yeah.
not.
You might be the only person, or the only being who's ever complimented her other than Talon. She says, "Well, it's just this way." Stupid soot.
Yes, they must be pouring things down from the upper level.
Yeah,
I'm absolutely soiled in it.
We're under the spooky smoke district stupid Chancellor lives in.
Absolutely. And
terrible day for rain.
Yeah.
Very good. Yes, it must be all that saber fuel they're pouring down from
No.
level above.
Oh,
Fine.
you can't get that in your eyes.
No.
Okay.
It says it right on the label.
She will continue to lead you, and we will pick up even further into the lower levels of Coruscant next time. So outros and plugs. CC.
Hi, I'm Cece. I'm not used to going first. I forgot that I put myself in that position. I've done this to myself.
It's your own fault.
You have all the power when it comes to our overlays. You know this.
I'm gonna plug doing a whole Star Wars with your friends because that's what we did here, and I had fun doing it. So you should try it too.
Awesome. Liz.
Hi, I'm Liz. I will also plug doing a Star Wars and just playing games with friends. Because it's super duper fun. And I've had a bad week, but now it's slightly better because I played with my friends.
Marty.
Oh, yes. Very good. Yes, this was a delight, and I absolutely adore everything you're doing, even though you know I do not care for that character.
I know you didn't, but also I made her different.
Yes, no, and you made her very Vin.
I did make her very Vin on purpose.
You know that appeals to me. So
To try and
well
get you
played.
to like this character you don't like.
You played your Talon cards very well.
2 drums and a cymbal fall off a cliff.
So, for more of these shenanigans and more of these shenanigans, you should click a like a subscribe, ding a bell, and all of the assorted bric-a-brac that goes with interacting. Use your free Amazon Prime Twitch subscription. Here, why not? What else are you doing? Come into our chat and give away 5 of first-tier level subscriptions. Like a mensch, if I say so myself. But yes, come by. There's more of this. I think we're fun. And if you don't agree, watch it again. Maybe you'll find more the second time.
Okay, there. Jay.
Everyone else said, do a Star Wars. Usual kind of soapbox things. Black lives still matter. Trans rights still human rights. Wear your mask, even if you've been fully vaccinated. Still wear it, because even though you can't get it, you can still transmit it. So, stay safe. Be kind.
I'd like to, as always, echo what everyone said. Please stay safe. I know it's been a year now, and this is wearing on people, and I get it. But hopefully we are getting through this, and hopefully more and more people will get vaccinated soon, and eventually we can stop wearing masks all the time. But as Jay said, even when you are vaccinated, continue to wear them until we get to a better place as a society. It's not just a free-for-all after you're done. That's not how societies work. Please, join us here for other shows. They're all pretty fun. And if you didn't think so, start over. Start from the very beginning.
Yep.
And watch them all again.
There's or if we're not for you, that's fair. That's fine.
Well, that's also true. But if you think we might be for one of your friends, recommend that. I know we're not for everyone. We're goofy, and that's okay. And if you don't like us, that's okay.
Because we're goofy until we're not.
Until we're not. A good mix of serious and the goofs.
Yeah. Marley's Thirst Trap Dad isn't real Marley's Thirst Trap Dad.
No.
I didn't see that coming.
Now I'm going to double fake everybody. Okay. Have a good night, everyone. Be safe. Be kind. And we love all of you. Bye.
Bye.
Are you flying away?